Did everybody have a chance to read them? Are there any corrections or additions? I hear a motion, please.
Move to approve the minutes as presented.
A second?
I'll second.
Okay, moved and seconded, minutes are approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes approved, good. Some updates from Cindy Harrison.
I apologize, y'all, my voice may not last. Charles had to see me run out of the room yesterday in a meeting but anyway, I'll do my best here. We have relatively short agenda. I did want to just circle back on the e-bike study and let you all know that the park board did recommend approval of your recommendations at the last park board meeting. You've got a copy of those minutes, so I won't go through that, but since you have a copy, but just wanted to let you know that they did approve that. And part of your recommendation to do a larger study of the whole system is something that we're going to do, and it'll take a little bit of time to get that underway. We also have a couple of sections of trails this summer that are going to be closed for repairs, so we need to make sure we time that study and kind of take that into for repairs and for some new construction. So I want to make sure we time that in a way that won't affect the data that we're collecting. Part of that is out on the Stones River Greenway, one of our busiest greenways. There's going to be some detours there later, so we'll work on that. Did anybody have questions about that park board meeting? And it was pretty straightforward and well received. Okay, well, I'm going to jump up here and just run through some projects that we haven't had a chance to talk about in a few meetings and just kind of give you a quick update. So y'all let me know if you have questions.
Hey, Cindy, I do have one question.
Yeah.
Did they give a timeline or a time frame on what the next steps would be moving forward in terms of the continuous study?
No, other than just realizing that the study itself probably needs to take a year to take in all the seasons and just get enough time for a collection. No, they did not. All right. Thank you. Okay, so again, in not necessarily any particular order, but starting with the Charlotte Railway Trail project that you're all are familiar with. This is a potential railway trail greenway, a trail that has been recommended in several studies, including the Plan to Play Parks and Greenways Master Plan update done back in 2016 and 17. And just to let you know here, we are beginning our community engagement on this potential trail. It would follow generally along the Cheatham County rail line that, if you can see it, see if I can get a cursor up there. We don't have the best. Yeah, if we have a pointer, that would be lovely. But I'll keep on. It begins basically where the Cheatham County rail line intersects with Charlotte Avenue, and then the rail line terminates over near the farmer's market. And so this potential rail line would follow along that corridor. We're not sure what side yet. We're not sure, of a lot of things because we just started community engagement. And we are planning tentatively to have 2 community meetings, May 12th and May the 14th. We're working on the locations and times for those, so we'll keep you posted as we get those details ironed out. But this is the master planning phase of this corridor. So looking at what connections can be made, where our where the trail could go, what the community really wants to see, the North Nashville community, what they would like to see in a Greenway project. And you all will have a chance to give input. Of course, I know you've kind of given input along the way as we've talked about planning this. Any questions? Thank you.
Cindy, how far of that is the Cheatham County Railway?
Having a little technical difficulty. Give me just a sec here. Can lift that up. I did not realize. Perfect. Which one is it? I'll just trace them all. Woohoo!
This is Huey and Dewey.
Let's go all the way back up. Okay, we're done. Everybody can go home now. Okay, Jeannie, what was your question again? I'm sorry.
My question was, can you tell me how far along of that is actually the Cheatham County Railway Authority controlled?
Sure, and I don't know why this wants to, there we go. So this line, starting here and going over to Rosa Parks, and then a bit of this segment, it ties into CSX, has rail lines down along here. And then going toward the north to Cheatham County is all the rail authority's property.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then we have two 440 Greenway projects also in design. This first one is Park Plaza to Centennial Park, which is right outside our door here, right outside the building, the trailhead that's in the parking lot. And that is here. And this scope of this project would take us down to 28th Avenue, which ties into the 28th Avenue, 31st Avenue connector with the complete street. So it has sidewalks and bike lanes that are protected. It will also set us up into giving access into Centennial Park, and our Parks Planning Division has a project going on. You know, they've been working on the master plan development for Centennial, and so they'll take it from there as it goes through the park. And then it's just a really short, get down the connector, and a really short trip over to the rail line. So a really short segment of Greenway, but really large in terms of connectivity. The existing phase 1, 440 Greenway, is here in the dark green line from our headquarters here over to Elmington Park. So again, we're in design on that. The hope is to get it, protected over on the park side. There's some utilities to have to deal with there, but we'll address those. And then the second 440 project will connect the Sevier Community Center to the existing trails on Gale Lane Park, and then from there over to the existing trails that we have on Browns Creek Park. Again, the routing on that, we're still determining that. This is a design project that we have starting soon, so there'll be some community input on that. But a really great connectivity in terms of existing park features and existing trails. And if you remember, the Browns Creek Park project was constructed on flood buyout property after the 2010 flood. So really great use of that property and a really good partnership with Metro Water Services. State of Tennessee has built the trails on Gale Lane Park. And because we are in the 440 excess land, it's a partnership with TDOT also to utilize that space to build our trail, to get it up off the road, and to create a really great connective piece between these three public spaces. Any questions on that? Okay. This, you may or may not be familiar with. This is the Gulch Greenway downtown. So here's the Capitol. Frankie Pierce Park is here, and our trail, runs behind 11 North Apartments. This is the Church Street trailhead. This is the Asurian property, and it terminates right now underneath the Broadway Bridge. That bridge is going to be reconstructed. I believe it should be finished next summer. It's not going to, I don't know. I don't know all the closing dates on that particular vehicular portion of that bridge. So if that's something you want to know, I can find out for you. But again, that's a TDOT project. But we actually have an easement under the entire space under the bridge from 11th Avenue to the property line with CSX property. So a really great space, very similar to what's under Church Street in terms of just, being able to design and construct a pretty cool trailhead there. So just letting you know that construction will happen, and then we'll look at completing the trailhead design there and partnering with Highwoods Properties there. And right now they own that space under the bridge, but it will become TDOT property. But Highwoods is still committed to working with us to finish that out. And just kind of an update on the Asurian segment that Highwoods Properties has rebuilt for us. There are fiber optic lines under the Church Street Bridge that are being relocated so that we can finish up this little last piece of the Greenway. And that reconstruction should start this month, or that, not reconstruction, the completion of construction. So hopefully we'll have a ribbon breaking later in the summer on that, ribbon cutting. But it's a really great project. Right now you can't really see it. I'm excited for you all to get out there and get on it. We've talked about it for a long time. Hopefully we'll get it open and let people be able to use this space before they have to fence it off during the bridge rebuild. But once all that's completed, we'll have a really great connection. And then the railway trail, that Cheatham County rail line is here. So that railway trail would hopefully connect into Frankie Pierce Park into the Gulch Greenway. And then you can see that it takes off. The farmer's market is here, and then existing trails take you on over to the Cumberland River. So really, really important park space, really important connectivity as part of the whole city central loop system that we're constructing.
Cindy, the number, I guess it's 1, that length, when should we expect that to happen?
It's future. It's not funded yet. We're not designing it at the moment, so I don't have a timeline on that. Okay. And still in the downtown area, there have been quite a few public meetings on the development of Wharf Park, which is, I'll give you a little orientation. This is Ascend Amphitheater. The Siegenthaler pedestrian bridge is here. KVB bridge is here. And the darker green is the existing greenway that goes from Ascend under KVB and up to the top of Rolling Mill Hill, and it terminates here. So Wharf Park will be developed in this space, and the extension of the Greenway is a big part of that project. And that, like I said, has been underway through our Parks Planning Division, and the Greenways Division has been giving input on the Greenway portion of that. So really exciting project. I believe there'll be some more community meetings coming up on that. I don't know if they've been set yet, but they're continuing to develop out the master plan, and there's funding for the design, for construction rather, of a first phase.
We may have some meetings in June.
Okay. So, stay tuned to the parks website on those community meetings, and we will also share those on social media to keep you all up to date on what's happening there.
Cindy,
Yes.
sorry for an elemental question. I'm kind of new here. When a project is in the designing phase and you're having community meetings, does that mean the property is already owned and there's already funding for the project and you're moving forward with it? It's just a matter of time and what it's going to look like when it's done?
Right. We will at least own the property or have easements, have right to be on the property, and funding for at least the design. We don't always have construction funding at that time, and the construction budget really gets developed during detailed design. We have a general idea on cost, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we have construction money. Then the Opry Mills Greenway connector, we've got our last easements going through council right now, and those easements, one is just a temporary license agreement that lets us have some space to move equipment around when we're doing construction, but the most important one gives us a connection over to the Opry Mills Mall. So in this area, it gives us an easement across the mall to connect into the mall itself. So I'm going to kind of go back up. So the Greenway starts this is the existing Cumberland River pedestrian bridge, our, just iconic bridge. We'll head off, there'll be a trailhead at this end. Two Rivers is down here, Wave Country is over here, and the Stones River Greenway takes off down in this direction. So all what you see in the dark green is new or proposed, and it will come off this trailhead and a little bit of a bridge and bridging a trail, and then it kind of comes down and follows along the shoreline. Somewhat it's elevated, and then picks up again. This is the Opry Mills parking lot, so we're over in the, on the other side of the main drive. And originally, the project stopped here, but working with Ryman and working with Simon, who owns the mall property, we've gotten those easements, or getting those easements to make that connection. We should be out to bid later this summer, and then it's an 18-month anticipated construction timeline.
Starting in the fall?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Great.
And you know how busy the mall is, and Christmas, we'll have to deal with traffic because, there's some movement there. So the contractor will schedule all that out. They'll keep that in mind as they plan their project.
These are detailed things, but they just give us a sense. How long is that from our pedestrian bridge to Opry Mills?
To the mall, it's about a mile, right at a mile. There's a little bit of a switchback.
Great.
There, but yeah, really, really meaningful connections and conserving that.
And great to have that along the river, and that's fantastic.
Yeah, the views are amazing, conserving that green space. And then the connectivity down to East Nashville and to downtown and all the way, along the Cumberland River Greenway to TSU and the other direction to the railroad trail. Just a whole new corridor opened up for that part of town. Okay. This little segment of Greenway just opened, and get you oriented. We've kind of done a flip here. North is to the bottom of the page of the drawing, and this is Lytle Bend and Ravenwood. Ravenwood is under construction, the first phase of that project. This is the property that you all played a big role in helping us to acquire, the Mo Lytle's property here. There is a new segment of Greenway that was constructed by a developer doing a single-family residential development here. So he constructed a trailhead and about about 1,500 linear feet of trail that connects into the existing Stones River Greenway. So right now that Greenway, comes around the river, and it's hard for me because it's upside down, but connects over to Stone Hall. And this segment opens up access to that for all these neighbors. And from what I understand, it's used a lot. There's been a few races that have wanted to include that segment of Greenway, just foot races and or runs. And so I believe the first one will happen this summer there. Okay. And this one, sorry, it's a little light, but I just wanted to bring this up. This is the Harpeth River Greenway, the Warner Parks here, and this bend includes the property that the Frist Foundation donated to parks. And at the tip of that is property owned by the state, where we have, state owns property on both sides, and they've licensed that to us for use as soccer fields. And then this piece is a piece that we've always wanted to, have a greenway on. There's a pedestrian bridge that connects over to the soccer fields. The Harpeth River Greenway here just dead ends at railroad tracks. So there is a proposed multifamily development that might, if it moves forward, they're working through all the usual zoning issues and access issues. But if that happens, will give us the access that we need to continue that greenway and better develop the park space that was donated. And also provide, once that greenway is connected to the existing pedestrian bridge, then again, all these neighborhoods begin to get connected over to Highway 70, the community center, and a very quick trip, even walking really, but especially on a bicycle, to that commercial neighborhood. So stay tuned on that. Okay, so back downtown, Centennial Mall Park is here. This is the Sound Stadium, and we have that project that will be underway by the developer to build that access of Greenway and keep that open all the time now instead of the way it's closed. This is property that was previously owned by the state of Tennessee, and it has been sold, and a multifamily development, a little bit of mixed use, I think there's a little bit of commercial on the ground floor, will be developed alongside the existing greenway. So this is First Avenue. We have a greenway that runs there. We have this greenway that runs across property that's owned or managed rather by Metro Water Services. So just letting you know that that's happening. The developer is proposing to widen out our greenway. It's a little bit narrow down there, and we're trying to move towards 14 feet. And they'll add landscaping and maintenance on all of this if their project moves forward. And they're also moving through, the planning and zoning process. But we've had lots of conversations with them. They're very interested in giving us a product that we want there. This is a Jefferson Street bridge, if that helps kind of orient you there. And it's a really good project. This is a partnership with Habitat for Humanity and Parks and Metro. The schools owned a parcel, Metro Schools owned a parcel here that I believe they were going to sell several years ago. And the community here really wanted to see this developed as a park. Metro Parks has the acreage over here that has never been developed, but is, to be developed as a park. So in partnership with Habitat, they're building a development here. They've been working with the community to do some improvements on existing privately owned ball fields. And the end product will be Habitat does this residential development, And then they build a section of trail for us, the trailhead and connections into that existing community center, and turn that over to us. And shortly on the heels of that, our Parks Planning Division is looking at developing trails on this portion of the park so that we end up with a really great system of Greenway trails. We're hoping to get a second entrance over here, just a walk-up entrance that would connect all of these neighbors. And there is a community meeting at the end of the month on this project, and we'll share that with social media also. But just a really great partnership. The council member here has been extremely active in helping us with this. And Browns Creek, so I'm jumping around. Now we're down at the fairgrounds. This is the Speedway and existing Fair Park Phase 1 that was constructed a couple years ago. This is the dog park and the soccer fields. This is Browns Creek, and we have a trail that runs, it's about a third of a mile. It runs through here. Phase 2 is in design to continue that trail over to Nolensville Road, which is here, with another trailhead, and then we follow the creek. I think there's some other improvements happening along with this and the development of the park. There was a stormwater variance over this property that involved removing a lot of hard surface, old pavement, and re-landscaping that. So that's happening as part of this Greenway. But that is in design right now. And we'll move to construction. I'm waiting on an update for that, but I don't think it's going to happen until fall. And then I just wanted to touch on just a few of the open space acquisitions that we're making. I believe I've talked to y'all about this before, but this should close, I think the 1st of May, the first part of May. This is 10 acres that we are acquiring. It was the McClendon Farm. It's actually 3 parcels. And this is Tusculum Road. It has connectivity off this road and from this neighborhood street and this neighborhood street. It's a really beautiful parcel. The lower area, it's terraced. This lower area is full of mature trees, and it's just, it looks like a park already. There was a home here, kind of in the middle area. The home is not there any longer. So it's a flat area. And then a little bit higher in the back, some more mature trees. There's a barn on the site. There's a pump house. There's some, just a storage garage, and then tree canopy over here. So that project has also been funded for design and I believe first phase of construction. So it's a park. It'll have trails on it. It won't be your standard Greenway, but it is 10 acres in a district that had no parks. It had some parks bordering the district. This is Council Member Sepulveda's district, and she was really instrumental in seeing this happen, as was the mayor's office in funding. So a really great park and a really beautiful piece of property that's been in a family for several generations, and nestled in among quite a bit of residential. And just a few shots of that property, give you an idea. You may have seen some postings on Laughlin Springs, the addition of 4 acres to this park. We're working with the Land Trust, I'm sorry, not the Land Trust, the Trust for Public Land on this acquisition. There a lot of community support, fundraising that's been done, and then we have capital allocation to acquire this property. So we're in that process. And like I said, it'll add 4 acres to a park directly adjacent to Shelby Bottoms, and lots of neighborhood connectivity, walk-up connectivity. There is a private owner who has purchased the bulk of this parcel, and they are coming in and kind of carving off their own residential one house lot, and then the rest of it would be purchased and be in addition to Laughlin Springs. Then 88 Hermitage, we are back downtown. This is Wharf Park. This is Rolling Mill Hill, the Greenway that follows. The Greenway right now terminates at the top of Rolling Mill Hill. And I'm sorry that this is really tinier than I realized it was going to be. But the historic African-American School for the Blind, the building was owned by the state of Tennessee, and we are in the process of purchasing that. You'll see that going through council this month and next month. And it will provide, part of that Greenway connectivity that we talked about that would start here where the Greenway ends and wraps around and goes down into Wharf Park. And the building will be used, we don't know yet in how many different ways, but there'll certainly be a parks component to it, and I imagine there'll be some other agencies in the city that would utilize that space also. And then there's an affordable housing component. MDHA owns this property, and part of this property will be used for affordable housing. So another really good acquisition. And I want to mention this one too. So same location, Wharf Park here, the existing Greenway that goes from KVB up to Rolling Mill Hill. This parcel is a new, I think there's 2 or 3 new towers going in here. It's mixed-use development and will involve reconstruction of the Greenway. And in this particular instance, that Greenway, it was built and owned by MDHA. This property was owned by MDHA, and they've sold it. And we didn't have an easement for that Greenway. So, there was a risk that that Greenway could go away. We've worked with the developers, and they've been really good partners and the architects to get that easement. That's also going through council, the park board process, and then on to council. So those developers are giving us an easement, so we'll have the permanent right to have our Greenway there. They will build it and add amenities, landscaping, and they're going to maintain it for us. So a big win, a moment or two of, kind of heart-stopping, oh my gosh, we don't have an easement for whatever reason. So yeah, a really good turnout on that one. So that's not something we're purchasing, but it is something that we're acquiring. That's it.
Wow.
So any
You've
questions
been busy.
on
You
those?
have all been busy. Thank you.
Yeah, we have all been busy. So if you don't have questions, I'm going to turn it over to Amy to give us an update on
Hey.
Greenways for Nashville. But
Hey, Cindy,
Mhm.
God, this is all amazing, just really amazing. Can you give us, as a commission, any, and if you can't, we can talk about it next meeting, but can you give us any perspective on how many developers are you dealing with? I mean, what a great contribution to our
Gosh.
city, and what time it takes for you to, I mean, we get so used to thinking in terms of miles or in terms of feet or something, but this is just brain power and time power. Can you give us some perspective
I
about that?
can, and I didn't list every project that we have underway with developers. One that I didn't mention, it certainly deserves a shout out, is a reconstruction of the Great Circle Road trailhead on the Cumberland River right at I-65 in Metro Center. That's an old one. It's, aged out. It needs some love. And Wood Partners is constructing an adjacent multifamily development, and they came to us and said, can we rehab your trailhead for you? And, it's an expensive project. We're still working through all the details, but it'll be a new trailhead structure, landscaping, taking up some of the pavement. There's just a lot of pavement there, updating the furnishings. And again, they're going to maintain that for us. And, it's a win for them. They've got, access to a great Greenway already right outside their door, but they're going to spruce up the trail. So that's one. There's another happening, possibly. There's two, actually, on the connector. It kind of goes from the Magdeburg Greenway, that little connector from Morgan Park to the Cumberland River Greenway that, runs kind of along First Avenue. There's one small multifamily with some green space there that is owned by Metro Water Services. It's kind of a no man's land right now, and they want to come in and develop, just landscape it and maybe do a little art installation there. And then just a little bit further down is another multifamily project that would straddle the Greenway. And we're still having a lot of conversations about that, but, they're proposing to do some improvements there too. There are at least a dozen, and some of they're on different phases. Some of them they're just trying to decide if they're going to purchase the property, and they've got to get through rezoning, and then some are further along, just like the one that I showed you that opened up at Ravenwood. That was, Councilman Roten was really instrumental in making that happen and working with the developer. In addition to that segment of trail, we have an easement over 100 acres there. It was the Benz farm. And so that's conserved, and it fronts the Cumberland River, and we'll build a trail along there too at some point. So quite a few. It's a lot of investment from the private end. The maintenance component, that we don't have to maintain these greenways, and we're writing those easements so that, and those participation agreements that create perpetuity for that maintenance component.
Yeah.
For us, that's huge, in addition to just the construction.
Just seems to me a real appreciation that our community in some way needs to have about how these developments are giving back to our city.
They really are, and it's a big change, and Cruz can probably talk about that too. 10 years ago, that wasn't happening. We didn't have as much Greenway built in. This loop that we're building is very, it's very doable. It will happen. It will happen, and it benefits everyone. It benefits the new development. It benefits the communities. So, big shout out to all of our development partners. And a big shout out to the really great support we've gotten from the mayor's office on funding. I mean, he is really supportive of Greenways and wants to see these improvements happen. And he realizes, just like we all do, that development's happening so fast and green space is disappearing, and we really, really need to get it conserved now.
That's a really good message, if we could get that to the public and at the right time, and mention some businesses by name and thank them and tell them what,
Sure, and hopefully we'll have
partnership.
that ribbon cutting on Asurian, the segment behind Asurian this summer, and we'll recognize all those partners there for sure, and also our interdepartmental partnerships.
Yes.
Metro Water Services, NDOT, TDOT, Harpeth Valley Utility District. It looks like we're going to be talking about an easement on their property at Bell's Bend. Lots of partners.
It'd be good if we could have advance notice of that pretty much ahead, so that we can all be there, so that we can all get some reporters there, some people who will write the right kind of articles, pictures and everything,
I
because
agree. Yeah. Yes, I agree. Amy?
So, echoing what you've all said or nodded to is the incredible amount of work that's being done, both direct work and the public-private partnerships. And Greenways for Nashville's role has, and I'll say responsibility. I mean, we're here to support the division, and we are and were struggling to keep up with everything that's going on. And so I have some pretty exciting things to announce and share. We have 2 new staff people who've joined us in the last month and a half, and they're here listening in. So please help them with your commentary and feedback, because it's a steep learning curve. I've got Marissa Pappas, who is here as our program coordinator and office specialist, but she is the glue that is going to hold us together, and she is hands-on, hit the ground running with several of the programs that we have out there. Most specifically, she's got a stack with her of the newest Greenway's map. So this is the third version of the system map. It gets updated every couple of years thanks to Vanderbilt for their large commitment to sponsoring that. And it is out in the community centers. It's out in the public for people to pick up. So that is sort of a number one first touch point for a lot of people. Trailheads, I'm going to stop just for a sec and then introduce our second edition. Jordan Howes has joined us. You've been here for 2.5 weeks. Also hit the ground running, already drafting comments for the mayor to make at Richland Creek Run. Jordan is our community engagement and marketing manager. So it's been wonderful. We're doing lots of onboarding, and please welcome them. So speaking to supporting all of these efforts, we echo Parks Department's call for community engagement. We have as big a bandwidth as they do. I'm sure there's lots of overlap, but every time they get something out, we are pushing it out as well to get people to these meetings, to get people to complete surveys. It is probably a just sign of the times. There are so many ways for people to engage with what the Metropolitan government is doing, and we want to shine the light on these projects so that people do make their voices heard. And then we attend a lot of these meetings and speak on behalf of our constituents. So Jordan and I will be on a couple of different stakeholder groups and task force. So that voice is really important, and we can push, hard for what we believe and have been told our constituents want to see, which is more greenways, wider greenways, greener greenways, all these things that Cindy is working really hard to get done. So wanted to share that. Richland Creek Run. It is a fundraiser. Yes, it's a fundraiser. I left you all a little card. It's a Saturday. The mayor will be there for the 8 o'clock kickoff. And we have about 400 people signed up to run. This was an event that was started by the community. So that's what's really unique about this. It's in its 15th, 16th, somebody help? 16th year. Sorry, COVID makes us all a little spongy. We've had 2 years of virtual events, so this is our first year back. Super excited, love to have you all join us. It is a walk run. I will definitely be walking. Great after party at ML Rose. So again, it's got a great community vibe, and it raises awareness and some funds for Greenways for Nashville. I wanted to share some of the physical projects we're working on. Is the Trailhead Improvement Project. Greenways for Nashville has committed, the Park Board has accepted a grant for $75,000, and designers and our construction, we have a contract with the American Constructors. They are working on 10 trailheads. These are trailheads that were early in the system. They just, need a fresh look. They need an upgrade, and the graphics you saw that Cindy shared on that new segment to Soames River, it'll all match that look. A lot more readable, a lot more welcoming, we hope. And so again, it's to encourage folks to explore and feel comfortable when they drive up to a trailhead. It's fresh, it's inviting, it's easy to read the map. So excited about that. It will happen. Again, these things take a minute. Hope to have those trailheads complete, refreshed in the next couple of months, but the work is in progress right now.
Yeah, and I should have mentioned, that should have been a slide. That's a great project. If you've been in some of our older trailheads, they are in much, much need of some love. And Amy and her crew have really just taken this on as a project, and it's going to be an amazing upgrade. So thank you so much. I'm sorry that I didn't mention that, so I'm glad you did.
No, it's fine. And then both behind the scenes, and when I say behind the scenes, it's not a secret, but it's in meetings that are by invitation only, planning meetings, and then public efforts. We are, with Jordan's help, with the increased staff, going to advocate our presence and advocacy on the capital budget, on the operating budget, are going to be perhaps and hopefully more visible. I know Jordan has secured an interview for one of our board members on, what's the name of the?
Tennessee Voices.
Tennessee Voices. In May, Adam Kaplan will be interviewed. So things like that are in the works and will reinforce again. And we ask that you all, through your own conversations, through your own social media, it really does make a difference. They associate you with with a movement that's very popular, and to hear your voice chiming in on anything that we share, welcome and encourage you to do that. Certainly open up any questions that you all might have of Greenways for Nashville or suggestions. I'd love to hear them. I'm going to ask you to put on your calendar soft holds, not soft holds, write it down, September 29th or October 6th, last Thursday in September, first Thursday in October. That would be Dinner by the Bridge. We will be there in person and determined, and we are awaiting the Titans' schedule to make sure the date is clear for the NFL. They cannot be playing at the same time. Rather, we cannot be eating dinner while they're playing, and they could possibly pick one of those. So as soon as that calendar comes out, we will secure the dates, but want to let you all know that that's also going to be live, and it is an incredible opportunity for us to, be together with all of these folks. Many of these developers join us, project managers, as well as the community, and break bread together.
Right, thank you. And thank you all for, you're all a part of all of these projects and making them successful in so many different ways. And I just continually appreciate your efforts and support.
Do we have any reports from any of the departments? Planning, Metro Water, the mayor's office?
Don't, other than to let you know that the Greenways division is participating in the East Bank study. We're participating in a new Downtown Connect, I think is what that study is called. They're looking at, better connectivity downtown, how to relieve traffic, how to get pedestrians and cyclists and bus riders and everybody around in a better way. So multiple kind of study efforts, the mayor's sustainability committee we're involved in. And then we continue to review stormwater management variance requests that come through. We review the Metro Planning Commission's packets that they get each month. We review that as it pertains to Greenways or how it might affect Greenways. So.
Cruz, do you have anything from the park board?
No, I don't think we have anything that wasn't already talked about. But I think obviously I hadn't been on this committee that long, but I'm really like you impressed with the breadth and depth of the work they do. And I think to the developer's point, I mean, Greenways have become a real amenity for us. That it wasn't always that way, but when I'm selling an office building or leasing an office building or an apartment building, having access to the Greenway right out your door gets you higher rents. So it's kind of a win-win. So that's why they participate. They're still greedy, but they
whatever it takes.
That's right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to share and use the word, and it came up in a meeting yesterday, and I think we'll really look to weave it into some of our, when we have to make a one-sentence comment, which happens more often than I'm necessarily comfortable with, because you can tell I can talk. You got to get it concise. Access. Access is a word that is a different word than connectivity. And access is really important to citizens and communities, and they can get out onto a greenway. It is more accessible to them. It's within a half mile, within an easy walking distance. For many, the greenways are their destination. So they are going, now, yes, of course, they are a route to a place, and there are folks who use them for connection, so they're going someplace. But for many, it's simply, especially in the urban, dense urban core, it is their access to green corridor, to a safe place or a comfortable and relaxing place to walk or bike or push a stroller. So I think access is a really important word, and I appreciate that you said it that way. So want to remember that when you're speaking too.
Great. We don't know exactly when the next meeting will be. It'll be in June, and we'll probably send out a Google to see what's convenient. And it may be a field trip to see some of these wonderful new projects that we're going to see, depending on how things are progressing and what's appropriate.
Yeah, traditionally, we do or you may not know, or may not remember, June and October, take a look at it, get out on a site or two and take a look. So we always love to do that. With the community meetings coming up on the Railway Trail Project and then 440, there'll be opportunities there. Hopefully, like I said, we'll be cutting a ribbon. So we'll try to schedule all this out so that maybe we can piggyback those field trip dates with some of these other activities.
Okay, good.
Sorry, I'm talking so much today. It was so rich. I love this, all that's going on, but I just would make this request for at some point, Madam Chairman and Madam in charge, that we maybe have a conversation or a display or something of the overall system, sort of where we are, and then punctuated by what the existing plans out there are, and sort of how we've gotten, how far, and, so we can have a perspective about what we need to do to be going forward. I mean, this is just like the most wonderful accumulation of action that I can imagine. So that has nothing to do with that. It's just kind of getting the bigger perspective. And I think maybe that would be helpful for some of our newer people. I know it would be helpful for one of our older people. So could I put in that request for you all to consider as you look at agendas?
Right.
Is that something that appeals to anybody besides me? Because I can just go meet with you.
Well, you're welcome to come meet with me anytime. But yeah, I think that's a good idea. And one thing I did not mention on the Railway Trail Project is we're trying to get policy established for greenways. We have the ability to get easements on the water-based greenways, just when those properties are developed, purchased and subdivided. We don't have that yet as we veer off away from the waterways. And so we are having a lot of success, clearly, with conversations with developers, but it is an individual conversation each time. And, everyone's coming from a different perspective and trying to keep up with all those projects that are happening. And if we, so we're starting with that potentially with this Railway Trail Project, if it moves forward like we think the community will want it to. Design guidelines, and also, at the very minimum, just making space for the greenway, an easement and a certain setback, but hopefully more than that. Hopefully, buy-in and development and maintenance. So saying that, from what you said, we're looking at, a countywide look and how to go once we've kind of gotten that underway, how we take that and look at it as a countywide approach, and identifying those projects we have going on and projects that are coming. And
Great. Great, okay. The meeting's adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov